Welcome back, my loves. I'm Andrea, and welcome to Life as I Know It. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today, we're going to do some fun, easy DIYs for Easter to spruce up your house with some fun, affordable decor. So you can do it for your home, or you can give it away as a gift. And with that being said, we're going to jump right into these DIYs. Now, this sign is new to the Dollar Tree. They had something like this at Christmas, and it's like a wreath sign already together. So what I'm going to do is take this Waverly paint right here, and I'm just going to paint the sign just to darken it up. You don't have to paint it. You can leave it in this color if you choose to. So all I'm going to do is paint it, and once I'm done painting, I'm going to take a baby wipe and wipe off the excess paint. And once we have all the excess paint off of it, we're going to take it and place it aside and let it dry. And what I'm going to do is take the tulip that we got from the dollar store, and I'm going to just start cutting that up. Now with the tulip, you can make it 3 inches, 6 inches, 9 inches, depending on how much you want to use. But since this frame is really small, I'm going to do about a 4 inch. I'm just going to eyeball it and cut it, but I would say a 4 inch is definitely a good cut for this little frame. And then this way you won't have to use a lot of the tulip. Once we have all the tulip cut up, all we're going to do is grab 2 pieces. We're going to take a Chanel stem and we're going to wrap them together. We're going to take the tulip, lay it down flat, and take our fingers and roll it. Place it in between 2 fingers to hold it, and then we're going to get another piece of the tulip and do the exact same thing. Roll it between your fingers, place it between your fingers to hold it. Once you have it together, we're going to take a piece of Chanel stem and wrap it around the tulip. Once you have that completed, we're going to do the exact same step again, and we're going to keep doing this until we are completely out of tulip and Chanel stems that you have already cut. Now take this sign and you place it on the front part facing down. You're going to take the Chanel stem, place it through the wreath, and all you're going to do is tie it on that little piece of a bar that's going straight down. And we're just going to use that bar to place our tulip on. And all we're going to do is flip it over, take the Chanel stem, take it through, twist the tulip, and then flip it over just to make sure it's where we want. I did mix the tulip together because I had pink and purple. You can use whatever colors you want. You can just make it all one solid color, or you can put a whole lot of different colors on there if you want to. I just did pink and purple. And like I said, all we're going to do is take the sign, lay it down flat, take the Chanel stems through the opening, and we're going to tie it to the first bar. Once we're done with the first bar, we are going to use the second bar and fill it up. But you can decide as you're doing this whether or not you want it that full. And if you don't want it that full, or if you didn't buy enough tulip, then you can probably just put some of it on the bottom and top and just spread it out. But I think this is a really easy DIY to do as a family that you can do with your children or your grandchildren. All you have to do is cut up the tulip for them, and they can put the Chanel stems on there depending on how old they are, or you can just twist it forward. But I think since they have so many different wreaths, what you can do is everyone can pick out whatever wreath frame they want. They can paint it any color. You can use any color of tulip that you want. And if you're going to do it as a family project, Depending on colors, you might just go to the craft store and buy a larger tulip roll. But if not, everyone can pick out the different colors that they want from the dollar store, because they do give you a variety of colors and textures to choose from. Once we have our wreath completed with the tulip, I decided to take one piece and I just wrapped it around the bunny ears. If you want to hang the sign, what I'm doing now is I took a piece of twine and I'm wrapping it through the sign. And what I'm going to do is take it and tie a piece of each end to the sign where you can't see it. And then once it's attached to the sign, I'm just going to add a little hot glue just to secure it, just to make sure that it doesn't come loose. Now, if you don't want to hang it up, then once you have all your tulip on there and you're satisfied with it, then you are done. But I wanted to hang it up because I thought it was such a cute little sign that we could just hang this wreath anywhere, whether you hang it on a window or put it on the door. I just thought it was such a cute little sign that I definitely wanted to hang it up. And then if you have the little ones helping you, if they don't want the tulip, we can always make a bow and tie that around the bunny's ears, or they can paint the bunny. But once we have the string attached to it and we have the hot glue, we are done with this DIY. Now we're going to take some hot glue and lay it on the frame, and then we're going to take the ribbon and lay it right over that hot glue that we just placed down. Press down, make sure it sticks. Then we're going to take the ribbon, loop it through the frame, and bring it on the other side. We're going to lay it halfway on top of the ribbon that we just placed down. And you're going to continue this process. Now you can make the ribbon really tight on the frame by putting it very close to the one that you laid down. If you want it loose, then you take it to the far right. You want it tight, you take it to the left of the ribbon. I like to place it in the middle of the ribbon and continue that process. To me, that way it looks nice, it looks neat, and it's tight. But you don't have to do that way. You can make it loose. That way you don't have to use as much ribbon. Now, the ribbon that we're using came from the dollar store and is 9 feet. The frame is an 18-inch frame. They do sell 14-inch frames if you don't want to make a large wreath. When you get down to the end of the roll, what I like to do is I always like to start my new roll and end my roll on the back of the frame. So all we're going to do is flip it over. We're going to add some hot glue, and then we're going to cut off the excess of the ribbon that was not able to go all the way around. Because this way, if you cut it and do it on the back, you don't see it on the front, and then you can start the new ribbon exactly where you stopped off, and the design just keeps on going, and it looks a whole lot neater when you do it this way. Now, I did cut some of this out because all it is me wrapping the ribbon around the frame. So now we're going to get down to adding our third row. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to take the ribbon to the end, put some hot glue down on the back of the frame, cut the excess, and then continue on with the third row of ribbon. And then once we have that done, when we get to the end, all we're going to do is overlap it, add some hot glue, and then cut off the excess of the ribbon. Now, once we have our ribbon wrapped around our frame, we're done with the ribbon. Now, what happened was I was going to use the bunny on the bicycle on this frame. When I went to place it on it, it was very awkward. So I could have tied it up. I tried it a different couple ways. I didn't like it. So what I decided to do is I'm going to do the bunny on another frame right after this DIY. And I just decided with this DIY, we were just going to take some flowers and we're going to put them on the bottom of the frame. And I'm just going to take a couple pieces that I had from another sign and I'm going to add them on there. So if you see this sign or any of the Easter signs that you can take apart, you can place on here. But like I said, I really didn't like the way the bunny went. So what I'm going to do, it will be on the next DIY right after this one. So we're just going to take some flowers and hot glue them down. Now I had these flowers in my stash. It's always good when you have bouquets or if you see big flowers on stems and clearance, just to grab them and put them in your stash to hold on to them. And so what we're going to do, like I said, is just hot glue the leaves down to the frame. Now, these flowers I got out of my stash, what I like to do is the seasons change. I like to get as many flowers as I can that I knew that I'm going to use, especially ones that are like bouquet, off the clearance when they're a good price, and just hold on to them because I know I could always use them in the DIY to cut them down or use them as a bouquet. So definitely as the seasons change, if you see some flowers that you had your eyes on, or you just happen to go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and they have these bouquets and they're a good price, grab them because like I said, you can cut them down. Even Walmart, if you see the bouquets in there at clearance, grab them and you can save them and use them for the next season. So that's all I did was take an old bouquet and I just cut the flowers down and I'm just going to add them to the bottom of this frame. All I'm doing here is cutting down my bouquet. I had two small bouquets, so I'm going to use all the flowers that were on there. And then what I'm going to do also is grab some of my dollar store flowers and I'm going to add them. And I like how you can just mix match flowers. You can make this bouquet the way you want because it's your bouquet and it needs to match your decor. If you're going to hang it on the door, you still might have a color scheme that you want to use. But it's good to mix dollar store flowers together with other stores because sometimes I can get bouquets for $2, $3, but you're getting a lot of flowers. So also do not forget to look in Walmart when you're grabbing flowers also because they also have a variety of flowers that are not expensive. Now this sign right here came from the dollar store. We're only going to use two pieces. So what we're going to do is flip it over and we're just going to pull the ribbon off the back. It comes off very easily. So we're going to take the two pieces that we're going to use and we're going to take the third one and we're going to hold on to that and put that in our stash. Once you have your signs where you want to place them, take some hot glue and just run it down the middle of the sign and place it down. And we're going to do it for both sides. And I picked the ones that said Happy Easter. So you only need to run the glue down the middle of the sign. Once I had the sign on it, I decided to take some of those little Easter eggs that they use to hang as ornaments on their tree. I cut the ribbon off and I just took a couple of them and I placed them inside of our bouquet. You don't have to do this, but I figured since we had Happy Easter, we could take a couple of those little eggs and place them inside of our sign. Now we're going to place our wreath to the side and we're going to go ahead and make a bow. Now I got this ribbon from the dollar store, and what we're going to do is roll it out, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're just going to continue to flip it over. Now I always say this: if you like your ribbons big, then you make it 6 to 9 inches. If you like them small, then you fold it 4 to 6. But you have to decide what ribbon works best for you. And also, since this is a dollar store ribbon, you can go ahead and use the whole roll if you want to. So it just depends on how you like your bows to look, because you're making this for your decor. So we're just going to flip it all the way over. I'm going to make this big, and as you see, we're going to use all of the ribbon. Once we have the ribbon together, I like to fold it in half and then take the scissors and put a little nick on each side. Just a little cut, so that way we can take the ribbon and put it in that little cut that we have, that little nook. That's what I like to call it. Now, be careful when you cut your ribbon, because you don't want to cut too far into the ribbon. I'm going to take a piece of twine and put it in those nooks, and I'm going to tie it around our ribbon. And we're just going to tie it to make sure our ribbon doesn't come apart. So I tie it a couple times on both sides. Now, if you want, you can take your twine and cut it longer, so this way you can attach it to your wreath, or you can cut it short and just hot glue your bow to your wreath. Once we're done, we're going to go ahead and start fluffing out our bow. And one thing I always say, try to use wire ribbon, because it does work a lot easier than ribbon that does not have the wire. So this way you can mold your bow with the wire. So you just start pulling out the tags of each end and just start fluffing out your bow. Once our bow is fluffed out, what we're going to do is take the ends of the bow, and we're going to take and ducktail the ends just to clean it up a little. So you just take the scissors and fold it and cut downward to both ends, and that's what I believe it's called, ducktail, because that's what I've been calling it. And once we have that done, we're just going to go ahead and hot glue our ribbon to the frame. Like I said, you could take the extra twine and use that, attach it to your wreath, but I'm just going to go ahead and put a little hot glue on the back of the bow and the wreath and attach them together. Once I had the bow on it, I decided to take one of the flowers that I had left over and just attach it to the bow. So I just added a little hot glue to the back of the flower, placed it in the middle of the bow, and we are done with this DIY. I got this ribbon from Hobby Lobby. It was $3.99. I got it on sale for 99 cents. So what I did was I took the ribbon and I wrapped the reframe the exact same way we did in the previous DIY. So I didn't want to waste time showing you that. So I just wrapped the frame the exact same way. So now what we're going to do is take the twine that was holding this bunny up. We're going to take that off, and we're just going to hot glue the sign to the wreath. Once you have it set the way you want, we can go ahead and hot glue it, because I want the whole sign on this wreath. Once you have your sign attached to your wreath, we have those two little holes. So you can take and make a bow. You could put a flower. So what I decided to do was take some twine, and what I did was take a little piece and make an end. And all I did was hold the ribbon, place it in my hand, and make a loop. And I just kept pinching the loop as I went. So I would make a loop, hold it, flip it over, make another loop, flip it over, make another loop, flip it over, and make another loop. And that's all I did. And then when I was done with my loops, I took the end that I had, I cut a piece of the other end and took that and wrapped it around the bow a couple times, tied it together. And then I had a little loose bow. We're going to take a little hot glue and place it in the hole and then just go ahead and put our bow on top of that. I had these little flowers left over from the baby shower that I did. So I'm just going to cut down one and place it right there and put a little flower on it. You don't have to do this. And then I decided, you know what? At the bottom of this, I'm going to go ahead and put some flowers also. So I took two of the leaves left over from the purple roses, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the bottom of this wreath. And then I'm going to take one of the pink flowers that I had, and I'm going to hot glue that on top. Once it's dry, we are done with this DIY. Now these little bunnies right here come 3 in a pack from the dollar store. And then we're just going to take some ribbon that we also got from the dollar store, put a little hot glue on his neck, and we're just going to wrap the ribbon around his neck. Once our ribbon is secure around our rabbit, I'm going to go ahead and use these rhinestones and give our rabbit some eyes. This part is optional. If you don't want to put the rhinestones on here, you don't have to. I decided to take a little flower and some greenery, and I'm just going to hot glue that to the ribbon around the bunny's neck. I'm going to take the moss that I got from the dollar store, and I'm going to fill the bottom of the bulb. And then I decided, you know what? I want to take a little hot glue and some twine, and I'm going to wrap it around the top part of the bulb to cover up the gold. Dollar Tree has craft written 3D bees and ladybugs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a couple on the top And then I'm also going to place them on our light bulb and inside. And I had this little chip that came inside the mall, so I'm going to put a little ladybug on that. But these are new from Dollar Tree, and you're getting 12 in a pack, so that is definitely a great buy. So definitely look out for them because you will pay more for them in a craft store. And I like the way that they brought out our DIY. And once we have our ladybugs and our bunny placed inside, we are done with this DIY. We're going to call this more of a hack than a DIY. We're going to take the grass and place it inside the bucket that we got from the dollar store. Now, the bunny I did get from Target, and I believe it was $5. We're going to take a little stick, place it in there, and then all we're going to do is take our bunny and put him right inside of our bucket. We're not even going to use the foam. You can take the foam and place it in here, but believe it or not, it was just easy to stick the bunny inside this way. Now the carrots came from the dollar store, and all I did was take some twine and wrap them around. This was left over from a DIY from last year. These eggs I got in a bag from Hobby Lobby, and I believe it was like 90 cents for the bag because, of course, I got it after Easter. So all we're going to do is place all our different colored eggs inside, and the dollar store has plenty of eggs that you can use. So once we have our eggs in, this hack is over, and this is something great that you can do with the little ones. Well, my loves, that is the end of our fun, easy Easter DIYs. Hopefully, I showed you something that you can make for your own home or that you can give away as a gift. If you are new, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so you can become a part of our YouTube family and go on this journey with us. And if you are returning, you are truly appreciated. If you enjoyed any context of this video, please give this video a thumbs up. We are so close to 500 subscribers that I can give away my gift bag to one of you lucky winners. Also, I just want to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedule to watch my video. Have a blessed day. Remember, it costs nothing to be kind, and we will see you in our next video. Bye for now.